see. Ah, it looks like we're live, Dr. Jamyce.
Yeah,
So,
we
hello, everybody out there in Facebook land. This is Lisa Coppola, your NAWBO National Chair, and Dr. Jamyce Curtis Banks. Dr. Jamyce, introduce yourself for a moment, if you would.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. Wow, it seems like just yesterday I joined NAWBO as a curious and new business owner. And since then, I'm in Indianapolis. I've served on multiple committees in the Indianapolis chapter. I've been on the board for the last 6 years and served several roles there, including now being the very proud president of NAWBO Indianapolis.
Very cool. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be talking a bit more about the Women's Business
I'm
Conference,
excited.
what we call the WBC, coming up less than a month from now on October 15th to 17th in Austin, Texas. So, Dr. Jamyce, talk to me about your experiences at the WBC. Help our listeners and our observers understand what it's been like for you.
So actually last year was my first year attending the WBC, and it exceeded everything that I had heard about it. I will tell you, take your vitamins and be ready for a continuous great experience. But I also had the opportunity on the first day to present. My company does work around diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and so how to action that, which NAWBO has been doing a great job at bringing to its chapters. So one of the things I'm looking forward to this year that I didn't get to do last year was the great welcome that NAWBO National does for members who are new to the conference, because my workshop was during that time. But everyone said great things. It helps you to pick out where you're going and what you want to do. And each day is just filled with tons of great opportunities. So it's hard to choose. Last year, because it was close to home, as I said, I'm in Indianapolis and it was in Louisville. So we had a team of people, so we were able to strategize and not miss a lot. So that I think is great. And then each evening, there are just amazing opportunities to network and socialize. The corporate partners were really amazing in making themselves available and bringing great content. So it's a lot in a little bit of time. And there are things from last year that I'm using now as president. So it's a great experience.
Thank you so much. It's interesting. This year on October 15th, which is a Sunday, our VIP first time attendee meet and greet and new members as well is on Sunday morning, the 15th from 10 to 11:15 Central Time, of course, because we're in Texas.
Yep.
And sponsored by UPS. We're ever so grateful to UPS for a long time sponsorship for our organization. And it'll be fun to see you and I suspect more than 100 new attendees there on Sunday morning, right?
Yeah, well, I'm actually coming in early and staying late, so I make sure I don't miss anything, right?
Yeah.
Because from start to finish, they're just amazing opportunities. And meeting women from all across the country, whether they do what you do or do something different, who are open to supporting each other, helping each other, learning from each other, like it's just I think it's like all of the NAWBO National opportunities. If you utilize it, you just grow professionally and personally.
That's so true. It's really interesting. I saw a line just last night. My chapter is Buffalo, Niagara, and I love what our president elect said. I had shared with my friends here in Buffalo that this Facebook Live would be going on today, and Patty Mancabelli, who's our president elect, said to our crew, "Come see what it's like on the other side." Right,
Mm. Mhm.
referring to national, because of course we're this national organization with local, really robust, footprints, right? You in Indianapolis, those of us here in Buffalo, Niagara, chapters across the country, and we get very, comfortable and familiar with our NAWBO sisters at home. But
Mhm.
as you've just described, Jamyce, the ability and the opportunity to meet women from and men, we have some NABROs, right?
We do, some allies, some great allies.
Supporting us, from around the country, it opens up all sorts of possibilities.
Well, and that's where I think the corporate partners have done such a great job in the social events that they provide you. So you get the opportunity to see a glimpse of whatever city the conference is in, but you also have an opportunity in a relaxing atmosphere with some really great food to
Yeah.
meet other women from across the country. And so it really is. It's a balance of having your business focus, but also connecting with other women who share common challenges and successes. And it just really, you leave with a great sense of inspiration and a whole bunch of knowledge.
Yeah, I always say we're so fortunate that each year there's typically a notebook in the bag that we get at registration, right? Because I am furiously writing through breakout sessions, through keynote sessions, just meeting and rubbing elbows with somebody in a hallway as we're walking from one room to the next or to our exhibitor hall. It's just an incredible magical time of
Well,
connection.
you
Uh,
mentioned keynotes, and would say that sometimes you go to conferences and the keynotes are inaccessible, but that so is not the case at the WBC. The keynotes are engaged in those conversations and strategy development, and it really helps you to grow as a business owner or set strategies and be able to access some amazing women and not just see them from afar, but actually have access.
Yeah, and what's really cool, I think, oftentimes, it certainly was true last year, it's true again this year, our keynotes have entrepreneurship backgrounds, right? Last year we had Maggie Cook.
Mhm,
She
mhm.
was remarkable from her incredibly humble beginnings
Yeah.
to just the extent to which she is present and developing her businesses now and talking about how, many of us in NABO give back, right? I know you do, many of your indie sisters do. Certainly, lots of women I know across the country do. Maggie Cook headed up to Philadelphia a couple
Mhm.
of months thereafter, and she spoke at one of NABO Philly's classic
Oh,
events, right?
mhm.
Um, so these keynotes, right? They're real,
Yep.
they have experience, they're speaking from knowledge, and they have, an incredibly inspiring story. This year's Martha Bach, right? New York Times bestseller, a
Mhm.
former Oprah magazine columnist. That's how I knew her growing up with Oprah magazine. And she would write every month in it. She has an incredible background and go to social media and look at Martha Bach to see how amazing she really is. And she'll be with us and, like you said, accessible
Yeah.
to our members as well.
Well, and I think the other thing about the keynotes is they empower you that you can get there, right? So it's not the impossible. It's very relevant and useful in terms of, oh, this is that how they got there, and hey, I can do that too. So it's always a great opportunity to build confidence in who you are as a business owner.
That's right. And whether you're a starting out business owner, and remember this year, our next gen track comes back live. So we'll have next generation women entrepreneurs and entrepreneur to be's with
Mm.
us. So gals in their 20s and early 30s, which will be really exciting, all the way up to, those of us who, if we didn't color, I'd think a lot of gray hair.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the rejuvenation of the next gen because our chapter has been waiting to see what that's going to look like so we can see how we can support that effort here in Indianapolis. So we're excited to be there.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. So, you made a point of saying, take your vitamins.
Hmm.
I would contribute, don't bother wearing high heels,
Yeah.
right? Wear
No.
flat shoes because although we're typically in one place, except for the evenings when we go out, we do a lot of walking and we're up and down and we are there to experience what there is to experience without, right? sore legs and back and things like that, right?
Yep, it's a conference, and so dress, comfortably, but, so that you can engage fully, in the conference, and, sometimes those rooms are a little chilly, so
That's right. That's right. Have a
we
wrap,
have to
have a
cover our
jacket.
breath. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep, and no one's gonna look askance at you if you're on the more casual side. If you feel more yourself with, your bling on. We've got the one night where we're gonna be doing Texas bling, which will be a lot of fun as well.
But I think
Um,
that's another aspect of NAWBO. You get to bring yourself uniquely to NAWBO, right? There's no
yeah,
judgment. It is who are you and what do you need? In Indianapolis, we say think NAWBO first, and so how do we help each other?
mhm.
Is the way that all of those experiences are. Come as who you are, be who you are, and leave with great inspiration and knowledge.
And know that you'll be welcomed, right?
Absolutely.
You're in leadership in Indianapolis. I know that you also serve nationally on board committees. We want all of our women colleagues who are entrepreneurs to feel as though they belong. I don't care what stage they're at in their business, where they are, in their age range or where they come from geographically. All sorts of dimensions of diversity are welcome. We learn so much from each other, right? I'm in New York State. You're someplace else. We're going to Texas.
Exactly, exactly. And I serve on the DEI B committee, and that's one of the things that NAWBO is really working to ensure that everyone feels welcome. And so, shameless plug for the survey, right? Like,
That's
please
right. That'll be coming up.
please complete that survey. Even if you're not going to the conference, there'll be an opportunity because NAWBO genuinely wants to make sure everyone feels a sense of belonging, and it helps us to know what that's like, right, for every person. So that survey is so critical to giving us the information we need to make the experiences belonging experiences for everyone.
Absolutely. Well, a couple of notes before we depart. And the first one is, and this is exciting, but maybe a little bit of a pain. And isn't that, entrepreneurship? Our room block sold out at our hotel.
Yeah, that's
We
great.
are we are out of rooms, ladies. So our Naboro HQ team arranged for the residents in Austin. It's called in the Domain area. It's about a mile or so away for very reasonably priced rooms, $189 a night. If you check your NABO and you e-newsletter, it comes every Sunday. I see it in my inbox about 8 o'clock Sunday morning here at Eastern time. So that room block at the Residence in Austin is available through September 29th. So through the end of next week. So get those registrations in. It's a big jazz. It's the last weekend of a big jazz festival in Austin when we all arrive on Saturday and Sunday. So be mindful. There's going to be Austin's a cool and vibrant city. There's going to be a ton more people in that city for the first couple of days of our conference, and that'll be fun to see them. Saturday will be the finals of the jazz festival, but it also will create some challenges for things like hotel rooms and the
Mhm.
like. So we just want everybody to be aware of that, be mindful in the airport. There may be more congestion than usual. It's a very accessible airport. I got to visit back in February this year, and it's lovely. And for those of you in big cities, you'll feel super comfortable. You can get through the airport in less than 10 minutes, but there might be a bunch of people around. So just keep that in mind.
Well, and shout out to the headquarters staff. They just do an amazing job of all of the things that NAWBO does. They work very, very hard. They really do.
They sure do. And there aren't a whole lot of them. And there's thousands of us, right? Thousands of us members converging on Austin. So that's a great reminder. It'll remind us all to say thank you, because gratitude is a really important way to lift each other up. The other kudos I want to extend is to the Austin Powered by chapter. Those ladies have done a yeoman's job, not only growing their chapter, but being the host chapter for this big event. So thanks to all of you, Sandy and the rest of you in Austin. We're just really excited to be coming down there to visit with y'all. And then our last point before we break for today is, so Dr. Jamyce and I have given you our thoughts, but there's a chance for you to hear more about what to expect and to ask questions. And that's coming up October 5th. So about 10 days before the conference starts. It's our series, The Road to the WBC, a little bit like the road to the Final Four, right? This is our Final Four.
No, that Final Four is headed to Indy, but no.
Yeah, exactly. Basketball's where it's at. So on October 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern, there'll be a Zoom. Again, that link is in your NAWBO and U newsletter. We'll have some special guests from both UPS and Dell that day. And that'll be the final, right, sort of know before you go with all the final details and what you might want to, tuck into your suitcase or your carry-on bag. October 5th, 2 p.m. Eastern. So Jamyce, any final thoughts?
Just looking forward to seeing everyone there. I think we've covered all the wrap yourself up, bring your comfortable shoes, be open to learning, and just have a great NAWBO time.
Absolutely. Don't hesitate to walk up to Dr. Jamyce, to
Absolutely.
me, to anyone else. We welcome you. We're so excited to get to know women from across the country. And I'll leave everybody with this nugget. We have had NAWBO sisters from different cities and states find out they had interests that aligned and have started new and different businesses together. So not only is there an opportunity for your business to grow, but there are opportunities to create new businesses when NAWBO women come together. So thank you again, Dr. Jamyce Curtis Banks, president of the Indianapolis chapter and a member of our DEIB committee at the national level, an amazing leader, a breakout presenter from last year's WBC. She'll be with us in Austin, October 15th. Jamyce, thanks so much for being with me today.
Thanks for having me. See you in Austin.
Bye-bye, everyone.